Welcome everyone in this new video tutorial about Diablo-like dungeon generator. In this video we're going to move on to our next variable to try, and we're also going to reduce the number of corridors to n tile. We're going to reduce the amounts of tiles, of generic tiles, and we're going to specify we want an eastern end tile and a western start tile. And then we're going to hit play. So what is it? What is it giving us? So it's always giving us, it's actually always giving us what we want. No, we specifically asked for a western south style and an eastern. So I think that's not a bug. I think that just me that actually misunderstood the direction we got from this. So if I'm specifying I want a western end tile, I think this is what I want to get. End tile direction, it's heading towards, so it's actually heading towards the east at that present time, but it's always giving us the other way around we previously had. So it's actually not a bug, it's working. So we just want to go to our end tile direction. We want to get wherever we're getting that. So find unused location for our end tile direction. So how do we want to do that? Find room for end tile or discard. We actually want to promote that to a function that says get tile and direction. This is going to be in our utility layouts folder. This is going to be a pure variable. The parameter is going to be called return value. We're going to go in that variable. We're going to reverse that cardinal. We're going to plug that in here. We want to hit compile like that. Oh no, actually we don't even need to do it like that. Well, that's actually a good practice, so we're going to do that anyway. So get end tile direction. We are reverting the cardinal, okay, so we want to go everywhere we plug the end tile direction, and we want to replace this location with reverse cardinal. So with our, with our function get end tile direction. Like this. Don't make sure not to connect the wrong wires. Like that. We could just have reversed the cardinal of the end tile direction at the beginning of the spawning logic, but it was also a good practice to just replace the simple variable getting with a function getter, which is usually more convenient. So if I'm hitting not simulation, if I'm hitting play, am I getting what I want in here? If I'm getting our class defaults, I'm checking our layout metrics, and I have a start tile that is heading towards the west and an end tile heading towards the west. That's fine. Now I want the east. If I'm hitting play, this is oriented towards the east. Now I want to try the other cardinals. So the start tile is supposed to head towards north and the end tile towards south. That's fine. And if I want the other way around, excuse me, this is working. So it's useful. It's we're directly seeing that it's useful for creating logical dungeon that starts at the that are actually going down or going up or going right and left. So in that case, this case, the last two cases were not obvious, but this one is obvious is a good example of what I was talking about. Okay, so that's fine. And now what do we want to do? We actually want to generate a lot of extra connections. We were already actually generating quite a lot of them, but it's not clear. We cannot. We're going to reduce the number of the number of maximum corridors in a row. We're going to reduce the number of corridors to n tile, and we're also going to say that we don't care about the start and the end tile direction. So we can actually see generating quite a lot of extra connections, and we want to get rid of the additional tiles as well. Or I mean, no, we don't want to do that. We want to add a lot of additional tiles, and we want to connect them with the rest of the dungeon. And we're going to hit play, and it should be. It's not connecting the additional tiles. Yes, it is. If we check the tile on the bottom left, but that's actually the only one. The other one are actually added to the dungeon layout after it has been spawned. So that's not. So we're going to increase the number of extra connections. That might be why it's not actually connecting them. So that's not why. Maybe it should have connected these two tiles with each other. So it's strange not to see them connected, but we actually have the end tile connected to it. So this is because we have a logic that says we have a macro function isCore tile that checks the addition that makes us able to connect our end tile to additional tiles. But the rest of them are not being connected to the dungeon. Obviously, as we can see, I was looking for that kind of examples where we have an additional tile next to a generic tile and no connection have been made. So we're going to check that. So connect additional tiles, find references. So we are in our end tile layout function. We don't want that. We want to be in here. Calculate the layout. When we calculate the layout, we're generating our tile layout. We're spending our tiles. We're stepping back sometimes. And that's it. And then if this is checked, we are generating the tile layout, and then we're generating extra connection. Remaining connection, is that properly set up? I think if I go back in here, we are properly setting this up. We want 20 extra connections. So that was correct. Then we are looping through. So is our macro correct? Is the tile a generic tile? So, okay, so this is obviously not correct. We want that and that. We want to hit compile, hit save. We want to close other tabs. We want to see that in action. So we just saw it was working right away. We have three-way, we have corners, three ways. Okay, so that's neat. It is working. So this is going to wrap up the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it and hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.